Hi Felicia, I'm Paddy, nice to meet you. So I work as a trainer here at Notre Dame University, okay? And what we're going to do today is just a bit of an interview here about your health and fitness, just to get an idea of your history and where you're at today. And I just want you to understand sort of the importance of it. Allows me to produce the safest and most effective program for you to get to whatever goals you're trying to attain in the future. So yeah, it's all about laying the foundation in this interview, and does that all sound good to you?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Firstly, your pre-screening questionnaire I got you to fill out. Thank you very much for doing that for me. Really appreciate it. So the importance of this bit is just to make sure that whatever exercises I prescribe for you are safe. That's the most important thing here, because the last thing we want is you getting injured when we're actually training you, trying to get you better. Okay, so had a look through it and it all looks okay. You mentioned there was sometimes unexplained pains in your chest or rest. Has this ever affected your training at all?
Not very much, but it always seems to be when I've gone from like a high intensity to like a sudden break in my training regime.
Right, okay.
So it's not, I don't think it's anything too concerning, as long as I keep with my training regime and like keep moving. Yeah, so it's not, I don't think it's too much of a worrying issue. Yeah.
So when you've had consistency in your training, it hasn't been an issue?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. And I can see here that you're already very physically active, which is really good. And you're doing climbing mixed in with some running, so a good balance between strength and endurance work there. And this is really important because I'm sure, as you know, one of the most important things to actually attaining these goals is consistency and making exercise a habit. And as a trainer, this is often the hardest thing I try to integrate with clients. So you're making my life very easy, Felicia. Thank you. Alrighty. And you mentioned also that you had some muscle and joint soreness, which can be aggravated by certain types of exercise. If you just elaborate on that for me.
Yeah, I think so. Before, I think a couple of years ago, I did have like issues with soreness around my ACL and MCL. So I had almost torn it.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so I had to scale down the intensity of my workouts, and then post that I was like really sick, and that was, I guess, more to do with like cardiovascular stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So then in 2017 was when I picked up CrossFit, which then was like I had to start re-strengthening my knee.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing less weighted stuff, more just body weight kind of exercises. And then from there, with the extra climbing that I've been doing in the last 2 years, a lot of bouldering, so it requires a lot of jumping off the wall and like knee.
Right, so a lot of impact on the knee.
Yeah,
Okay.
so like high impact, which is what I'm trying to do, like both strengthening and then working on like flexibility and like on the soreness bit. So like a lot of like rolling out, a lot of post care is something that I want to be able to do a bit more in my exercise routine, and that's kind of the soreness bits, I think.
Okay.
The more post-care flexibility, balancing, less high impact. So, because I already do quite a bit of high impact.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of what I'm looking for in terms of like if you're planning a training regime, that aspect of, I guess, stretching or even just low impact exercises that might help in those areas would be really helpful.
Okay, awesome. And that's great. The goals that you sort of give me there are very specific, which means we actually have something to work towards and it's attainable. Another good thing I've seen is the fact that your pre-screening mostly isn't too encumbered by injuries and whatnot. Means we can work with a whole variety of training methodologies and all the equipment that we have to offer, which really does put us in the best position to try and achieve the goals we're getting towards. Okay. The next thing I just want to ask about is any barriers you've had to exercise in the past, that have affected you being able to train consistently, or even present day, if you have any external requirements of yourself that affect the consistency of your training. If you could just let me know about that.
So, I think in terms of like barriers, a big one would be like I have work and I also have uni. and do all those things.
Busy person.
Yeah.
That's
so
good. Yeah.
my schedule is probably the hardest thing to work around. So I'm thinking as well, if I'm able to do those low impact stuff as I'm working, or even just something that's more functional that fits into my daily life, that would be really great as well. So something that's functional and sustainable is something that I'm looking for in terms of like the low impact stuff. Because I'm already taking time out of my schedule to go climbing. I'm taking time out to go to the gym. So if that's probably one of the big barriers, the time constraint on things that could be taken into consideration in terms of like planning something for me. As well, I think another barrier might just be, I wouldn't want to say financial barrier, just because like that might be another issue. If I had to purchase something for the training or not have access to a particular training material, like that would be quite a bummer.
Of course, yeah, of course.
And I think physically wise, because I am looking at in terms of goals to do more low impact stuff, I don't think there is huge barriers given my physicality to be able to do those things. Maybe not be able to reach my flexibility goals as best as I want to at the end of it, but I think that probably won't be a huge issue, I reckon.
Okay, well that's really helpful, understanding sort of the barriers that you've had in the past. We can definitely work with that. As much as the training I'll prescribe for you, a big part is also just, with general lifestyle, where we can fit in this training session and what works for you. Because if, I build this program for you, which is far too much, and you just can't fit it in with everything, we're not going to get anything done. So what is really important is that it works around your life and your other priorities. Okay. And then the last bit, the fun bit. Okay. I just want to know what sort of goals that you want to achieve, work with myself, and what you're looking to work towards. This is the exciting bit, a bit that we can get, get happy about and look forward to. Okay. So let me know. I saw, in your pre-screening that you mentioned, and in this interview you mentioned flexibility and some power and strength, and also cardiovascular endurance. So quite a few things, if you just want to elaborate on those.
Yeah, so I think one of the big goals is like, I want to be able to do a marathon.
A marathon, okay.
In 5 years.
Okay.
Okay, full marathon in 5 years.
I reckon we can get it done in 5 years, yeah.
And maybe do my first mini triathlon in like the next 6 to 7 years.
Awesome.
But also, as well, like I think I want to be able to continue climbing for a long time and be able to do those high impact stuff, but also considering my age and like how far I want to go with doing it. So thinking about it from like efficacy, over obviously efficiency is great, but efficacy for a long period of time, and be able to do those functional movements even when I'm 50 or when I'm a child. So those are a few considerations. I want to still be able to be active during those periods of my life, and as well, I think maybe reducing injury would be a big thing for me, because like climbing is quite high intense in terms of like joints and fingers and like all these little nitty gritty bits that aren't traditional in terms of like running or like swimming per se. So those are little bits as well that I would want to consider as part of like longevity is the goal, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's great. And I can say as a trainer, I really appreciate you coming to me with, set goals and things you want to achieve. Sometimes, working with people and blank canvas, they're not giving you anything. So it's really helps me, do my job well. So I appreciate that, Felicia. And, after the interview today, I feel really confident that I can build, firstly, a safe program for you, but an effective one in working towards, where you want to be and what you're trying to attain. So that's all today. I think, you've given me everything I need, and it's great. So thank you so much. Okay, I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Nice. Only 34 seconds as well.